Hey, Fighting for Hope, it's Amanda from Meditative Mondays. And today I wanted to talk about something that's very hard for us as people with, as people in general. A lot of people tend to have a really hard time with just being still. I know personally, I will be the first one to tell you I hate being still. Hate it like nobody's business. But this week I started to really think about being still and what that means and why I'm so afraid of it. 'Cause yes, it's a fear. I am absolutely petrified of being still. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about what it means to be still and why somebody might be so afraid of it. And I'm sorry if my camera is shaking. I'm holding it, and I've had 3 cups of coffee, so I'm a little jittered up. Anyways, so, yes, I'm going to move you guys again. Obviously, I'm doing really poorly at being still. Anyway, so what does it mean to be still? Well, it's different for every person, honestly. It could mean just sitting in one space. It could mean being still in your head, like trying to slow down your thoughts a little bit and actually breathe in those moments. It could mean praying. It could mean reading and just being in one spot. But basically, it all boils down to slowing down the thoughts, slowing down your body, and just taking a breath. And I think one of the reasons why it's so hard for us as people in general is because our society has told us that if we're still for even a second, we'll lose work, we'll not be as successful as we would be if we do work constantly, that somehow we'll become failures. And also, as somebody with an eating disorder, I know for me personally, I equate being still with laziness and with the unsettling fact that Ed tells us that we're going to become fat, worthless, stupid, for lack of a better term, and all those things. And I think, personally, that is all one big lie. When I find that I'm still, I do not grow 5 million feet wide. I don't learn any more or any less. I don't all of a sudden become lazy. I don't lose my status in society. None of that happens. And what I find is that when I'm still and when I'm taking those breaths and I'm talking to my higher power and I'm doing what I need to do in order to fill my soul and my spirit, I find that I'm a lot more content and I'm a lot happier, and that all the things going on in my head telling me to restrict just a little bit more, or binge and purge, or exercise, or take that one drug, or drink that one drink, I find that all of that tends to disappear. You know, it's funny. It's probably the hardest thing that I've ever done, and also the best thing I've ever done for myself. And to be quite honest, being still, you don't really have to do much. You just have to breathe and learn to find a quiet space. But for so many of us, that's so hard. I know that the first time I did that, I freaked out. Honestly, I freaked out. It was in a yoga class, and the yoga instructor asked us to sit down and to close our eyes and breathe. And I was like, okay, sitting down, closing eyes, breathing, not that hard, right? Wrong. So hard. Because I found that the longer I sat there, the more my leg wanted to jitter, and the more my mind began wondering when the time was going to end, if I was going to be able to get through these 5 minutes, because she only told us to do it for 5 minutes. That's usually not very long, but when you're trying to breathe and you're trying to close your mind off, it's a decade. It feels like forever. So by the end of the session, I was just so tense and so just like ready to go running. It wasn't even funny. But as I began doing that more often, and I kept going to that class and kept trying very, very hard to sit still, it got easier and easier and easier. And granted, I can only stay still for like 5 minutes. I'm doing good right now to just stay in one spot. But, you know, I think that all the fear and the intense feelings that go through my head when I'm being still, I feel that that's all stemming from that fear of not being worthy and not doing something and being lazy and growing 5 billion pounds. You know, and all of those things are lies, as I said before, and we also have the power to break those lies. So basically, the idea of this video is to challenge yourself to stay in one spot and see where in your body you feel the tense feelings that you have, and where in your body things are starting to tense up, and try to release those parts of your body, and see what feelings rise up, and see what thoughts rise up, and don't really judge them, but just look at them and see, hey, I'm feeling this, or hey, this part of my body is tensing up. Why is it tensing up? And at least for me, it really helped me to see where exactly I was holding all of the pressure and all of the guilt and the sadness and the depression and everything that I was feeling. It helped me to really see where I felt those things and to release them and to just move through that feeling instead of trying to block that away. Because that's what we're doing when we're constantly moving, is we're blocking it. So, try to sit still, look at that, and if anybody wants to comment and tell me how it went, that would be great. I would love to hear from you guys, and I will see you next week. Alright, have a lovely week, and I'll see you later. Alright, bye.